Hey, David Dole here with the Rational National. Now, I'm not sure you've noticed, but over the past couple of months, it's just been all great news. Just one news item after another of positive stories uplifting all of our collective spirits and giving us true confidence that going into the future, we'll all be just fine. Well, I have another piece of news like that for you. Not only has the coronavirus infected about 3.5 million people globally, but it turns out that there is a new mutated version of the virus. Yeah. And this new version is in fact even more contagious. So if you were worried that you would get the original coronavirus, don't you worry. You're going to get a new and shiny version of COVID-19. So here's the story from the LA Times. Scientists say a now dominant strain of the coronavirus appears to be more contagious than the original. Whew. What a great piece of... Look how good this thing looks, too. Look at that. It's got a bunch of colors, mostly red. It looks kind of scary, but this thing is... it warms you up at the very least. I mean, if you're feeling really cold, it'll warm you up to about 102 degrees. Let me go here. More from the story. The new strain appeared in February in Europe, migrated quickly to the east coast of the U.S., and has been the dominant strain across the world since mid-March, the scientists wrote. So, I mean, it's been the dominant strain. So I guess the one negative piece here, if we're playing opposites, or the one positive piece, is that if you had the coronavirus, you likely already had this version of it, this strain. So while it has mutated and it is now more contagious, you likely already had that version of it. But since there is one mutation, who's to say there can't be more mutations? And it also means that the research goes on to say that it also means that likely seasonal changes aren't going to have much of an impact in terms of stopping it. But all great news going on here. In addition to spreading faster, it may make people vulnerable to a second infection after a first bout with the disease, the report warned. So if you already had it, you can get it again. If you thought you were through, but you kind of miss it, you want to have it again, well, don't worry, you can have it again. So they go on here to say it's a 33-page report posted to a website that researchers use to share their work before it is peer-reviewed. That research has been largely based on the genetic sequence of earlier strains and might not be effective against the new one. So the vaccines that are already being worked on that are based on the original strain of the virus, throw it out the window, do that research again. I mean, nothing is more enjoyable than throwing out months of research just to continue on to do the exact same thing you just finished doing. Yeah, more here. Wherever the new strain appeared, it quickly infected far more people than the earlier strains that came out of Wuhan, China. And within weeks, it was the only strain that was prevalent in some nations, according to the report. The new strain's dominance over its predecessors demonstrates that it is more infectious, according to the report, though exactly why is not yet known. These unknowns are always one of the more enjoyable or uplifting parts of a pandemic like this, because why do you want all the information up front? You really want to just kind of sit back and not know what's going to happen. I mean, that's really the way to approach this. Let me end on a quote here. Where is it? Here we go. So this is from Bet Korber of the Los Alamos report. So she says, "This is hard news," wrote Korber. Quote, "But please don't only be disheartened by it. Our team at LANL was able to document this mutation and its impact on transmission only because of a massive global effort of clinical people and experimental groups who make new sequences of the virus in their local communities available as quickly as they possibly can." So don't be disheartened by this news because researchers are discovering that it exists. Okay. That's a real unique way of looking at this pandemic. Don't be disheartened that there's a mutation in the virus and that it's more infectious, because it shows that our research is working because we discovered that it exists. Okay. Yeah. Life's kind of hard right now. Let's just. Why are we pretending? This sucks. I've been trying to, not trying to, but because most of the news is horrible. uh, Discussing coronavirus is not really the front of mind for me. You can get most of that information from official sources that, for the most part, are reporting on at least the virus properly. But some days, man, I mean, this is just bleak. You look for some hope, and I guess at the very least, we know that this version of the virus is the now dominant version of it. So it's not like this is just a new version coming out now that is just going to begin to become more contagious. No, it's the one that we are dealing with right now is the mutated version of the virus. But it just shows you that all this stuff is unpredictable. It may continue mutating. I don't know. But stay safe, stay indoors as much as you possibly can. Stay away from people. The idea of opening these countries or these states or these provinces up now, when we are just really learning how contagious this virus is and seeing the numbers continue to increase, it's just crazy. To actually get rid of this virus, you have to contain it to the people that already have it. That's the only way to get rid of it at this point. At some point in the future, a vaccine, I'm sure, hopefully will arise that will be based on the current version that people have. But until then, you really have to stay safe, stay indoors. Don't fight to go back to work. Please use your brains. The reality is the government, wherever you are, should be taking care of you. If there is one scenario to have a universal basic income and have your needs taken care of, have whatever it is, mortgage, rent canceled, have your bills taken care of, it is now. The government should be taking care of you now, because this is how you get rid of the pandemic. Ensure people are staying home. Ensure they are comfortable. Ensure they can buy food. Ensure they can afford to still live while they are staying home. Apart from that, hopefully I'll have more positive news for you in the future.